Hey, how you doing? This Salim. I'm calling in for Mr. George Show.
All right, please hold.
All right.
WERQFHD3 Baltimore.
The views and opinions of the guest and host you hear on 1010 WOLB are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
Welcome to the Heights, where we focus on positive.
All right, Salim, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, I'm about to bring you up now.
right.
You can let the intro play for a second.
All right. All right. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing today? It's your guest host, Salim Williams. We on the Heights Radio Show. And I'm here stepping in for Mr. Mitchell. And today is Open Mic Thursday. And today we just going to let the floor be open to any conversations that, you know, we want to have, that we feel that we need to have. Had a very powerful conversation with Christopher Irvin last night. Inspired me to do a lot of research last night and stuff like that. So it's a few things we can talk about today. I just want to open up the phone lines and see what the people are talking about today. First, I just want to give a shout out to the Langston Hughes Community and Business Resource Center down here at 5011 Arbutus Avenue. We down here, we do a food pantry every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. We help and feed everybody. So if you need anything, need any food, come down to see us at 5011 Arbutus Avenue, the Langston Hughes Business and Resource Center, and we will feed you on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Also, seniors 62 or older in the 21215 area or the 10-mile radius, call us down here at LH Network at 443-759-8921 by 4 p.m. on Mondays to receive your delivery for the following week. So you call us up at 443-759-821 and you can secure your food delivery for the next week. Yeah, so we doing a lot of great things out down here just to help, you know, feed the people and keep the people going and things like that. So do we have anybody on the line?
Yeah, you have one caller.
Hey, this is the Heights Radio Show with your guest host, Salim Williams, and you know what we do when we call in. We say we love each other, and we let each other know how we feel. Hey, caller, how you doing? You sound a little bit muddled.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I want to make a little correction. Mr. Mitchell was saying about the basketball courts being closed up
Okay.
when they did the pandemic. No, they didn't. I mean, I'm curious about what happened to my area and all of basketball. That happened long before this pandemic thing came about. They put all that monkey stuff up in all these places.
Right.
My record Cecil. And I mean, when it snows, people would say, "Who's them footprints out there in the snow?" They were mine. And they didn't put all that monkey stuff up there, like, you know, I mean, they're everywhere. It was everywhere. Now, what is that all about?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Somebody got a mindset. Somebody got a mindset that was like where they met, gathered, and look how many. I mean, seriously, Baltimore is the basketball mecca of the world. Look at how many greats came out of here.
Right.
I mean, great.
Definitely.
All of them. What y'all trying to do? What are y'all really trying to do? I mean, I'm just so hurt, man. I'm so hurt. And why hasn't anybody decided to take all that monkey mess down and put them goals back up?
Yeah. And
that's wrong.
Yeah, that's I feel that deeply too, because me and my siblings, that was like one of our favorite things to do every day. We would like walk to the basketball court as soon as it started getting warm outside, and they definitely did take those down kind of early, even before we were like supposed to just stay in the house. I do remember that. I don't necessarily understand why it might be that way, but I do see a lot of development, coming in, like how we were talking about during this more recent election, how a lot of the people running, they had a lot of funding, and the funding that they were getting was from developers and things like that. So people who want to come and, make changes and quote unquote make the city better, gentrification and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Pushing us out. So,
right.
It's a lot in play.
That is where I said, let me tell you something. If you didn't have a father or whatever, that's where the big boys would teach the little the boys about life. Not about no. Them was your big brother. You might have been in junior high, but they was already graduating, and some of them was getting ready to go into the military. But they was making sure that you represented. If you came up under them, you're going to represent. Now, some of them went into a lot of different things. Yeah, some good, some bad. Even the old men who owned the bars and the number runners and all that. That's a community. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like I said, I don't know how many people came from that basketball court. No, to me, that was a plan to shut a slap in the face to us. All right, man.
All right, yeah, thanks for sharing, man. And
all right.
Yeah, love you, man. And we feel that, like, all throughout the city, we feel us and our culture and how we are, and the things that we love to do being kind of slowly taken away from us, and it's meant to make us feel or seem like we're actually getting equality and getting more things for us, and making gains in just the world and how we're viewed and how we're treated and the things that we have and have accomplished. And we have done the greatest things, but we are always being given the short end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? And what we feel and what we know is never taken into consideration necessarily.
All right, you got Brother Carlos next.
All right, Brother Carlos. This is the Heights Radio Show with Salim Williams. And how you doing today? Love you, brother.
Oh, good. It's good to be back with you, my brother.
Yes,
and again, let me say, first of all, that I appreciate you, and I appreciate your insight and introspective, even at your young age. I got 3 quick things for you, and I'll be real quick. With the 4th of July coming up, I recommend that all of our brothers and sisters look up the speech by What is the 4th of July to Me by Frederick Douglass. Okay. What is the 4th of July to Me by Frederick Douglass. Now, you can find it online, or you can find it in the narrative in the autobiography of Frederick Douglass with a foreword by Henry Louis Gates. And anybody in Maryland that is interested in going back and getting a historical prospect on what Maryland history about should get that autobiography of Frederick Douglass. Now, here's the second point. You had cited a couple of poems by Langston Hughes yesterday, which is a poem. Now, have you read his poem about what happens to a dream deferred?
Yeah.
And this is what it says.
Right.
Does it dry up like a raisin in in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like a rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? Langston Hughes. Now, again, you will refer to the movie that came out by Lorraine Hansberry, which was called what? A Raisin in the Sun. A Raisin in the Sun. Third and last item, and this is something that I experienced in Baltimore. And this poem is also found in that book, the autobiography of Frederick Douglass. And it's called The Incident by Conte Cullen, Cullen. And here's what he says. Once riding in old Baltimore, heart filled, head filled with glee, I saw a Baltimorean kept looking straight at me. Now I was 8 and very small, and he was no whit bigger. And so I smiled, but he poked out his tongue and called me nigger. I saw the whole of Baltimore from May until December. Of all things that happened there, that's all that I remember. Well, Maya Angelou cited that in one of her stage plays and so forth. But it gives you the amazing contradictions that we live in as a people, even in good old Baltimore. I thank you for your time, my brother. And like I said, I'm coming up with the 4th of July coming up. That poem, that speech by Frederick Douglass should be read by all African Americans. Thank you, sir.
Yep, thank you. And I appreciate you for spreading everything that you came here to let us know. And yeah, that was definitely powerful. I'm definitely going to look into that. Yeah, so
the next caller wants to know about the book. The next caller wants to know about the books that y'all talked about yesterday.
Okay, the books that we talked about yesterday. So one author from yesterday was Napoleon Hill that they told me to look into. Author, the Bible, The Choice, Black Survival. I was gonna actually Google these so I could get the full names because I only got I was doing note taking, so I kind of Les Miserables, The Souls of Black Folks, Racists at the Bottom of the Well, Destruction of Black Civilization, How Europe Underdeveloped Africa, The Autobiography of Malcolm X, and The Black Bourgeoisie. It was How Did American Slavery Begin as well. That was another book. The Merchant of Venice. That was another book.
Carter, did you get the book?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Oh, you got? Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm giving you all the names.
Okay, now wait a minute. I got a pen and paper.
All right.
Okay, now go it again. If I know it's Napoleon Hill. Go ahead.
Yeah, Napoleon Hill. What is the 4th of July mean to me? That was from today, actually. The Merchant of Venice.
Wait a minute. The Merchant
of Venice.
Of Venice.
Yep. How did American slavery begin?
How did American slavery begin?
The Souls of Black Folks.
The what? Say it again.
The Souls of Black Folks.
The what of black folks?
Souls.
Oh, the souls. Okay, the souls of black folks.
The Choice in Black Survival was the subtitle.
The choice.
The book was called The Choice in Black Survival. The subtitle was about black survival. Les Miserables. It's a
Les Miserables.
Yeah, it's like a play and all that stuff. Racist at the Bottom of the Well.
They say racist?
Yes, Racist at the Bottom of the Well. Destruction of black civilization.
Okay.
How Europe underdeveloped Africa.
How Europe underdeveloped. Africa.
Yeah. And
Okay, good.
the Black Bourgeoisie. It's a lot of books.
Black bourgeoisie.
And the autobiography of Malcolm X. And that's it.
Okay, fantastic, man. 'Cause I want to start a book club. I think we all need to start learning about our history.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
And this is a good way to start. Some kind of way I want because a lot of us don't really know. That's why we can't speak properly on where we came from to determine where we need to go.
Yes, sir.
So this is something I want to start. So thanks a lot. I'm glad you wrote that down. You have a good show. You're doing a good job for standing in, and keep up the good work.
All right. Yes, sir. No problem. And I will keep it up.
Okay, have a good day.
Yes, sir. You too.
Okay.
Love you, man.
Love you, man. Love you back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so, we just here to help everybody. That's a great idea right there. That's a great idea, the book club. I've always wanted to be a part of a book club, but I feel like I read books differently. Like, sometimes I don't like to read whole books all at one time because I don't know, I guess me being a Generation Z, I got some type of messed up attention span or whatever, but I don't like to read whole books. I read excerpts and stuff like that. Like, I just think of random pages and read them, stuff like that, and like chapters and stuff like that. I don't know. That's how I learn better. And that's like a big thing too. You feel me? You got to know yourself to know how you gonna do that. But I do want to be a part of a book club. That is a good idea. Do we have any more calls?
You guys stay cool. Yeah, stay cool.
All right. Hey, stay cool. How you doing? It's the Heights Radio Show with your guest host Salim Williams. And how you feeling, man? Love you, man.
Back at you, bro.
All right.
Hey, listen. You and that last caller, y'all inspiration to my spirit, man, because we definitely need to organize some study groups, history clubs, or whatever you want to call it, book club. But we need to focus on our history and culture first, so we'll know who we are.
Yes, sir.
Then we can figure out who the other folk are, right? But what I wanted to talk about really was this March on Washington that Al Sharpton is calling for. I think is irresponsible for that march, considering what we're going through with this coronavirus.
Right.
He should not be calling thousands and thousands of people together and putting them at risk. He should not do that. Right. So I want the record to reflect that I was in opposition to it, and I put it out to the community.
Right.
You need to stay away from that march.
Yeah.
And if you have to go when you get back, you need to be in quarantine for 14 days to find out if you contacted it while you were there, because they're going to be coming from all over the country. And I think it's a big mistake. And I think he's grandstanding, and this is not the time or the place for grandstanding or showboating. But then that's what preachers do. I understand that. They have to be the center of attention. They have to be the recognized spokesperson and leader. And I don't pay any of them any mind. The only preacher I got any use for is Malcolm X, Minister Malcolm X. Yes, and he separated his religious beliefs, Islam, from his economic, political, and social beliefs, black nationalism. He made it between the two. And he told us, when we get together to discuss our problems, you leave religion at home in the closet, because all it does is divide us into arguments. Yeah, it causes arguments. That's all it does.
Yes, sir.
But before I forget again, I want to make a correction on some of the book titles that I gave you.
All right.
Probably because I'm told I have a thick tongue, so I maybe didn't communicate it as effectively as I should have.
Right.
But the title, one of the titles is The Choice. And the subtitle of The Choice is The Issue of Black Survival in America.
The issue.
Okay, and the other one, I think, what was the other one? They had
the race.
Got that?
Yeah. Did I get the one right at the racist at the bottom of the well?
Oh, yeah, that's the one. No, I see that thick tongue kicked in again.
Yeah.
It's not the racist, it's the racist. The faces at the bottom of the well.
Oh, faces.
A dark belt. The faces at the bottom of the well.
Oh.
And the subtitle is the permanence of racism. His starting premise is racism is here, it's not going away, it's going to be here. That's the starting premise of that book. And that was one of the few books I ever read by integrationists, because he belongs to an integration school of thought. You could tell by the solution that he proposes in that book to deal with racism. Basically, he was saying the same thing Reverend King was saying. We're going to have to change that racist mentality. No, I'm not. I'm going to have to figure out a way to develop power to protect myself from their racist behavior, because racism is not going away. And as long as they exist in the world, they're going to be racist collectively. You might find individual exceptions to the rule, but that's all it is, a rare exception to the rule. The vast majority of them, they're going to be racist till the day they die. And I can give you facts, because in this thing right now, you got a lot of white folks talking about police reform. They talking about all these type of things they're going to put in place, supposedly to improve the relationship between the police and black folk. But none of them talking about reinstating the murder of Freddie Gray, because the medical examiner still maintained to this day that Freddie Gray was a homicide. There was no accident. He didn't kill himself. And the homicide detectives found no evidence of a rough ride in the van. And why would the homicide detective say that? And then the prosecutors went to trial on the basis of the theory that he died as a result of a rough ride in the van. And I give you even a bigger one. That guy down there in South Carolina, Dylan Roof, that murdered 9 elders in the church down there. He was sentenced to death. Why hasn't he been executed? Why haven't these good white folk called for his execution? He was sentenced to death. He never denied it. It was no matter. It wasn't a question of like years and years of appeal, because he didn't deny it. He ain't really put up a defense. He admitted it, like he was proud of it, and he's still breathing. And none of these good, leaning white folk who want to see change are insisting that he be punished according to the sentence that he received. So I'm saying, like, we cannot depend on non-African folk for our survival and development as a people. We have to take the initiative to do what we need to do. The first thing we need to do, educate ourselves about our real history and culture before chattel slavery, before colonization. That's what we need to do first and foremost. Then we can come up with the correct ideology and we can get on the right page, because Dr. Clark already told us there is no solution outside of Pan-Africanism, and that there is no European solution. There is no European solution to African problems. We don't have the same problems as Europeans. In fact, Europeans are our problem.
Clearly.
So what you think?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I feel as though this was on my mind. I wanted to ask you what book I missed yesterday, because it was a book about how Europe underdeveloped Africa, and then it was about how something underdeveloped something else.
Oh, yeah, it was how capitalism underdeveloped Black America by Manning Marble, right? And I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of folk don't seem to understand, because they're always talking about, I get this from a lot of ex-military soldiers who went all over the world fighting for the United States government. I asked them, what was you fighting for? And some of them had the nerve to say they were fighting to stop the spread of communism. But I asked them, who enslaved our ancestors, the communists or the capitalists?
Yeah, right.
The communists didn't enslave our people. The communists don't have their knees on our neck. It's the capitalists. Then what kind of sense did that make? And I come from a military family. My mother married a professional soldier. He was in the Air Force for 20 years. My brother was in the Army for 20. We got an uncle that was in the Air Force for 20 years. I had no intentions on going into the white man's army and going all over the world fighting for white supremacy, fighting to make the world safe for capitalism. That's what they were doing. They just didn't know it. I learned it at a very early age from Malcolm X. And I'm proud of it. I've never been in the United States military, never been a part of any law enforcement, organization.
Yeah.
I support Baltimore City School Police because their job is to protect our students. And in this city, the vast majority of students in public schools are Africans. They are black.
Okay.
So I support that. And if you look at the motto on the side of the school police car, it does not say protect and serve. It says protecting our future. And that's what I identify with.
Yes, sir. Definitely. And securing our future too, because that's like part of more to what Malcolm X was talking about. Like, we had to, by any means necessary, so we have to seize it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a physical seizure though. You know what I'm saying? Like how you saying, we need to educate ourselves and then bring and come together in groups and educate each other together and be together in groups and feel community and feel union and feel harmony. You know what I'm saying? So then we know what that is. So then that we know that is actual value in it, because that's another thing too. It's a perceived value to things versus an actual value to things, and people always feel as though that the position that they are in, that they are comfortable with, is more valuable or better for them than going through uncomfortable change to come into a situation where you're more independent or you're more, just self-understanding, just understanding, period.
But see, at the same time, we got to keep in mind, man, if we striving to be a sovereign nation, that means self-government, right, self-rule. We got to rule ourselves. We're not going to be able to do that within the parameters or the boundaries of this country, of this government, of this economic and political system. We're not going to be able to do that. We got to separate from them, right, culturally and socially, if not, in fact, physically. A lot of folks saying, well, I'm not going back to Africa. I said, and I'm glad, because they would have to do something to you as soon as you get off the boat, because you're not going to be over there selling drugs. Right. They don't need no more problems than they already got over there. They're not having it. Mm-hmm. And all that negativity that you learn from this racist, corrupt, criminal society, they don't need that over there, although some countries are affected by it, especially like South Africa. They're going through the same thing right now in South Africa that we're going through. Mm-hmm. They outnumber the Europeans. Last time I checked, they outnumber the Europeans 10-1 in their own land, and they treated like chattel slaves. They were treated like subject, persecuted people. Right. In their own language. Yeah. That's the knowledge, that's the information that the Europeans don't want us to have and share, because I've been trying to mail some books to a friend of mine in South Africa for a month now, and they telling me they got a ban on mailing anything to South Africa. Wow. They got a ban on it because they don't want to be in communication with them brothers and sisters over there. There are a lot of folk here, they celebrated Juneteenth, and I'm not in opposition to it, because I understand that it was a lot of confusion getting around that idea, right? But I also understand that June 16th, 1776, that's what I celebrate, the student uprising in South Africa, when the Europeans and their puppet black soldiers shot and killed 1,000 students who were protesting being forced to learn Afrikaans, a language that Europeans made up, a language that they made up and tried to use to legitimize their presence in South Africa. But the Africans over there not going for it. You got a lot of Europeans over there claiming, well, we were born and raised here, and our ancestors have been here for 400 or 500 years. We Africans. Africans said, no, you're not. You're European. Go back to Europe.
Yeah. All right, fellas, we got to go to break.
All right, man. Look, I'm going to let you do it. Thanks for the time.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you.
Let me know how you make out with the book.
Yeah, I definitely will. will. I'm going to be sharing that info with everybody. Yeah, so this is the Heights Radio Show with your guest host, Salim Williams, and we're going to take a quick break. All right, y'all. We're back.
WOLB Baltimore and WERQ FM HD3 Baltimore.
The views and opinions of the guest and host you hear are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Radio 1, its sponsors, or advertisers.
All right, Salim, you're back on.
All right. Hey, everybody. So you already know it's the Heights Radio Show with George Mitchell, and I'm your guest host, Salim Williams. And, you know, I've stepped in for Mr. George this week, and today is Open Mic Thursday, and we in here talking about, you know, whatever conversations we want to have as a people. Whatever y'all want to talk about, that's what I want to talk about. Whatever y'all feeling and feel like y'all need to get out or share with the people, just let us know. Call in.
You got a caller by the name of Alan.
All right. Hey, Alan, how you doing? It's the Heights Radio Show with your guest host, Salim Williams. I love you, man.
Hey, God be loved. No, I'm saying y'all some younger brothers, man, because I'm getting old. The younger folks supposed to have dreams full of life. I don't complain about what I achieved in life. You know, a lot of brothers, they get jealous. You all read about the Moors, the rise and the downfall of the Moors. Most people don't know what I'm talking about, Moors, jealousy, all that kind of stuff. Right. See, now we have the right to vote. You got the right to vote for your government. You know, Shelby County or Memphis, Tennessee, they got their first black sheriff. You know why? Even the Bible said this. You ever read Genesis said that African American people will be strangers. This is not our home. When a guy goes back from Africa to America, I said, well, it's a strange conversation. You got to make your home where your heart is. See, I left the South. You know, they had terrible races. You ever drunk from a segregated water fountain and had to use nasty public accommodation? You know anything about that?
No, not in my life.
No, it was awful down in Arkansas. You know who I kind of admire because he donated a lot of money back to my alma mater, the African American college down there. And he didn't go to the college. He went to Chicago. John Johnson. You ever heard of Ebony and Jet?
Yeah.
Yeah, he left Arkansas City. It was so poor down there, a lot of racism because my grandfather said, ain't nothing down here but cotton fields and trouble and mean racist white people. He went to Chicago. He used his mother furniture as collateral and built an empire. You know who else from Arkansas I have a lot of admiration from? And see, this is my generation. You know Scottie Pippen?
Oh, yeah.
He's from Hamburg, Arkansas. He was so poor in college. He was just kind of just floating through. He was a water boy at the University of Central Arkansas. See, it's psychological. That's what the point I'm making. You know why? Once we leave horror, we don't want to be reminded of horror. You know, like Scottie Pippen. I mentioned that name, John Johnson. They make a lot of money. And I said, but they don't hire nobody. You know, you buy all these shoes and stuff. Yeah, at the end of your day, because everybody going to have their final day, you got to look at God and say, what did I give to humanity? I love Dr. King. I love Reverend Al. You know why? They give their humanity so we can have humanity. When that guy, you know, when he called the radio and said that, everybody African-American, in the African-American community, know Corona might kill us and these white cops might kill us. So we take our risk. Because this is not our home anyway. And you know who the most powerful man that didn't have the government backing? Minister Louis Farrakhan. He always checked for security in his organization. I said this right here. Read your Bible, Brother Salim. African-American guys, I went to college. I got a partner that owned a dealership, and the white people are jealous of me. And I said, some of the people in the class were jealous of him. He said, but they're not going to mess with me because we know about jealousy. This was said that your own, look at the mirror, like Michael Jackson, because he died, I think he died, I think his birthday, he died because it was real hot. I think he died in 2010, something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, because he's from Gary, Indiana.
Yeah.
He always said the man in the mirror might be your enemy. The man in the mirror might be the builder, and the man in the mirror might be the destroyer. Read about Rome. I look at myself, I know I'm a black man. I respect John Johnson. I respect Reverend Al Sharpton. I respect Dr. Martin Luther King. I asked you that for a reason. Right. Imagine you can't vote. Imagine you can't drink water. Imagine you can't be a man and use a decent bathroom. Man, we have come a long way. I'm getting to become an old man now. We got to pass the baton to a younger man. And for the sake to chop down an older man like that, whatever having to respect your elders, he African-American. I think he just feel full of it. That we know the risk you take. Well, this is not our home anyway because he's bouncing back from Africa to the United States. Man, I'm so glad I left the South because I'm living my dream. I'm trying to get to New York to be like Reginald Lewis, You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yep.
Tupac Shakur, he made a legacy for himself. I pity a man that's worried about other men, but when he leave here, he forgot about his own self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pity a man that didn't try to fulfill his own dream, and when he get old, he started chopping down other people.
Right.
And that's the rise and the downfall of the Moors. Yeah. If you didn't do nothing, why would you chop somebody down? That called being like the crabs in the bucket.
Right.
So y'all young guys, read y'all some good books. Read about Scottie Pippen. You know, Scottie Pippen, he was so poor. He was poor. Even Anthony Hardaway, these guys was poor when they had the talent, but they used their talent. I said right here, they ought to think about humanity. A lot of times when we get billions of dollars, millions of dollars, the first thing we run from is our shadow, the man in the mirror. You don't see these people living in the inner city in Baltimore. You don't even see preacher. I talked to a preacher in Memphis. He was a very prominent preacher. I said, why? I said, we give you this money, these tithes, and these money to help you, to help the inner city. I said, why are you in this white mall every weekend? He said, why are you in the white mall? I said, but I'm not a leader, though. I said, you spend all that hard-earned money. He said, man, I need to live a little bit. We the only race want to run from our shadow.
Right.
Look at when I asked you about Ebony and Jet, it's not pro-black now. Kathy Hughes, she's African-American. Bob Johnson, it's not pro-black. We used to scrap up and pay that little $15 for that cable bill. Now he's supporting Donald Trump, and Donald Trump doesn't have no empathy for African-Americans. Seems like Bob Johnson ought to know why he's running from his shadow, why he got amnesia. Man, I've been around. I'm becoming old now. Live your dream. I pity a man when he becomes foolish with all his money. Then when that last breath he takes, he might think he got an automatic pass into heaven. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
Because he made a lot of money don't mean nothing to me. Yeah. It's called humanity. Because I asked you this once before. You ever been discriminated on? You ever been denied? They used to call my grandfather couldn't even read. We still got our fall. He told me, we are spiritual. We believe it's going to be a better day. My grandma wanted to go to college. She married my grandfather at a young age of 18. And they had more sense than young folks because they raised all their kids. They went on welfare. They stayed married 57 years. They were spiritual persons of spiritual people. You know why? You remember the Klan? You ever heard this? Oh, you're a young cat. The Klan used to burn down our temples, our churches.
Yeah.
Down south.
Yep. I know that.
See, a lot of people that those horror things that we have to get reality, looking the man in the mirror. Do we love ourselves or do we hate ourselves? The man in the mirror. Thank you now.
Yes, sir. Thank
you now. You're a young cat. Live good, man.
Yes, sir. I will.
Be free. Think for yourself.
All right.
Yeah, because like in Baltimore, I go to the city. Sometimes today might be my last day. Black on black crime, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's the reality that we live in.
Yeah, that's reality.
Yeah.
Not no reality TV.
Right.
All right, Doc. Thank you, now.
Yep, man. Have
Thank
a good
you, Doc.
one, man.
Yeah, no reality TV.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, y'all. So like, it's like Alcala was saying, you know, it is things that's like positive outlooks on life. Like, I recently did a podcast or interview kind of thing with my friends, and it was about asking questions to black men that they wanted to ask black men. And one of the questions was something about what do we feel that stops us in our community and in our area, that stops us from accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish. And at first, I just instinctively said, no, nothing can stop us. You know what I'm saying? And then all of my friends, beside me, they were like, well, you know, like there's systemic things that cause us to be target and things like that. So there are things that are against us, but there has been room given to us, but that room is just only space for you to feel as though that you have a lot of freedom. But when you get into an actual situation where you have to butt heads with the system, and when you can no longer be separate from the system because you live in it, then the reality of racism and the reality of this is not meant for you comes into play, and you realize like what my example I gave when I feel inhibited is like if I have a gun license and the police see me with a gun, brandishing a gun, and I got a wear and carry permit and everything, or concealed carry, whatever, and they see the gun, is no telling that they won't shoot me, even though I'm licensed and permitted to have it. You know what I'm saying? Just because they are afraid, or just because of the current climate, I don't even know if I can trust them. You know what I'm saying? To even make the right decision, to even ask me if I have a permit or anything. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust that. And that's like, you know, things that we go against, but also like we talk about it. I could go outside right now and start a snowball business right now and make $100 today, maybe, if I, you know, like it's a lot. It's different limitations and freedoms that's like that's seen, and we had to take advantage of them and understand how to move through the world with everything that we face with. We have any more callers?
Yeah, next up is Sherry.
All right. Hey, it's the Heights Radio Show with your guest host, Salim Williams. Hey, how you doing? Love you.
Yes, hello, Mr. Williams. I love you too, young man. But let me first start off by saying this. I will not be giving you a poem. I will not be giving you no books to look up. I'm not a historian, and I'm not a history major. So by saying that, can I go on to move on to another subject?
Yeah, you can talk about, it's Open Mic Thursday. We can talk about anything you want to talk about.
Because I wasn't sure. I thought this was Black History Month. This is my thing that I want to know, right? Yeah, but this is a special segment of it. Yes, Mr. Williams, this what I like to know is I see a lot of they supposed to be having a book with a lot of businesses as far as restaurants, but I sure would like to get some name of some Black contractors. Can they get a book put out with home improvement Black contractors? But I need them to be legit. I mean, I don't want to hand me. I want them to be licensed.
Right.
Do you know any?
At this moment, I do know of a Black Business Directory, and I can look that up for you.
Please.
But I do believe that we do need to get some type of maybe published thing, like some type of Black Yellow Pages, something like that, so that we can just all have access to each other and each other's information and things like that.
Yes, because that's something that that's something that we really need. I mean, I understand with restaurants and like we have businesses like that, but really we need some licensed, bonded contractor that could do home improvement where I get a receipt, you know?
Yeah.
We write it down, just like, you know, it got to be on the up and up.
Yeah.
It can't be like a handyman to come in. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I definitely know exactly what you're saying. If I kill Onyango, if you're listening, call in and give the information for your father's company, because I have some friends that are, you know, carpenters and contractors and things of that nature, and they are very great with building things and fixing houses, and they have an actual business behind them. And you know, professional practices. So
right, because I do see a lot of the Mexicans, they renovating these homes, and I had some to do some work, but I know somebody else is looking car and they coming under. But this time I want to go with some Black contractors, but they gotta have their business. They gotta be licensed. It can't be no come in and patch up and do some stuff. Renovation.
Right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yep. And I
bye-bye. Have a good
definitely try to get you that information. All right. Yep. So that's another great idea. We need a Black Yellow Pages or like Black Business Directories, and we need to actually be able to make these things available to everyone, and we had to publish them so that everybody knows where they are. And also we had to encourage black businesses and black people to all come and share our things with each other so that we can, recycle our dollars into our community and continue to build our economic power that we have with our trillions and a lot of money of spending power. We will be able to have greater economic power if we spend with each other. So that's definitely a thing that we need to work on, is a black business directory. And I know there are a few, but if we had one concentrated, but things go.
I think Tyrone Boast is on the line. I think he's a black construction person.
All right, cool. Hey Tyrone, how you doing? It's the Heights Radio Show with George Mitchell. I'm your guest host, Salim Williams, today. Love you, man. We tell each other we love each other on the show. And how you doing, man?
Yes. Okay. How you doing? First of all, I would like to say that don't let anybody discourage you from learning history, because you can't solve one problem in the black community without understanding the history of how we got to the mess we're in now. Right. And so that way you can mitigate it. So it's very important to understand our history, and if you want to get ahead. And by the way, it hasn't stopped me from owning the business. Okay, because a lot of people think that you concentrate too much on African American history, that means that's going to slow you down. It doesn't. It makes me a better businessman. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how to deal with people based on the history of how they dealt with our people. For sure. So that being said, Leo Burns, who is also a student of African American history, has a directory there. He has an organization called Rooster Scouting. Okay, and he's an avid follower of African American history, and he has the publication that he puts out with African American businessmen that he puts out. And Sheila Dixon also has a Minority Contractors Association that she heads up, and they have contractors in that book too. I have a copy of that book. And I also, in my organization, Home Ownership Opportunity Administrative for Economic Success, I have a list of contractors, 37 contractors ready to do dollar houses. I myself am a licensed master plumber, master HVAC tech, and a master gas fitter. Okay? Now, because we understand history and we understand that a lot of the opportunities in our community for various reasons, based on the history of Baltimore and the politics of Baltimore, right, we want to make opportunities for people to learn trades. These houses is the economic engine to build our community back, as opposed to giving land away, tearing down houses in our community, giving land away to wealthy developers, right, which hasn't. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the houses they torn down. They torn down whole communities. Has the murder rate went down? No, it hasn't. So policy does not work, and due to the fact that, again, I have a show, and I know you know that. It's called the Call Tower Show. Comes on Wednesdays. I had a judge there, Judge Pastor. Her name is Judge Pastori. Instead of sentencing young men to jail, okay, she sentenced them to job training programs, which got them a living wage. You know, some of these guys are making $30, $40 an hour now, right? And in jail. And her program, the history of her program, which you got to understand the history of it. According to her program, those young men that went to her program, they have a recidivism rate of 6%. The history, because I understand history, the recidivism rate in Maryland is 68%. So you can see through history that her program works, and what we're doing now does not. We do not do enough of what she's doing, the stuff that works. Because by studying history, I can tell that what she does works. What we're doing now, just locking people up and putting them out of jail, 8,000 people a year we put out of jail in Baltimore with no trades and no money. They give them $50, they let them go. 8,000 people a year with no job and no trade. Because I know history, I know they took all the trades out of jails. Okay, took all the trades out. Right. So you're on the street, right, as spending time in jail without a job. 8,000 people a year without a job and without a trade. Mm-hmm. What do you think you're going to have when your stomach gets hungry? Okay, so you expect crime to go down and you're doing this stuff? It's stupidity. Right. So you got to study history to solve problems. That's what I'm saying. So don't let anybody tell you that history isn't important. Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. And can I just ask you to repeat those the names of those directories for me?
You have a minority contractors directory that's put out by the organization that Sheila Dixon heads up. Leo Burrows has a book that he prints out for his organization, the Research Scouting, where they teach scouting from an African American, Pan African perspective. Okay, he puts out. And but what we need to do, she's right. The lady was right. We need to figure out a way to get this sector with the WLB or one of your programs, WLB. Real job. I mean, real businesses, licensed people. I have a real state. I have 3 state license, master licenses. I have a bachelor's degree as well.
Right.
Okay, those things that don't mean a whole lot to a whole lot of people, but it certainly means a lot to me when I'm getting cash them paychecks I'm getting. As far as because a master plumber now, the last time I worked for somebody else, as a master plumber, this was years ago, I made $35 an hour as a master. Now I work for myself. I own my own business now. But now I think the rate, the going rate for a plumber, union plumber, I'm not talking about any plumber, union German plumber, it's $40 an hour in Baltimore City.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. There's nothing to squeeze at. When you have knowledge is not power. The efficient use of knowledge is power.
Right.
And that's what we need. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying. Don't let people discourage you from learning things. It's very important, you know, that's the only way you can combat racism, unemployment, drug addiction, whatever. The only way we can combat that is with knowledge.
Yes, sir.
There's no other way. Thank you.
All right, man. Appreciate you. All right, so I'm going to look into those things and share those with y'all tomorrow so we can get a clear names of all those. Do we have any more callers on the line? It's the Heights Radio Show.
Yeah, you got somebody named Quan.
All right, cool. This is the Heights Radio Show, and you're here with your guest host, Salim Williams, and we'll take the next caller, man. How you doing, man? Love you, man.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Salim? Love you too, brother. I just wanted to go ahead and say, I've been tuning in the past few days while you've been on here. I just want to say I appreciate what you're doing. I love your insight on what's going on, especially coming from the younger generation. There's not too many of us that are able to even think about the type of things that you've been thinking about as far as the progression of our people. And like I said, I just want to say I appreciate you putting that effort for us, and getting, putting us on a platform where we can express ourselves and, have our voices be heard. I just wanted to say, since it's Open Mic Thursday, definitely want to spread a message of love and positivity, throughout the audience. And I want to say that, a lot of young black people, black children, are not being taught the things they need to be taught in our school system. They have said that for a long time. A lot of us are looking for a direction to go, especially now with this whole awakening within our generation through the social media and understanding the different, the police brutality and how we are discriminated against in, basically all aspects of society. I just wanted to say that we should be focused on, building things for ourselves, not so much, relying on other people for things, especially when it comes to starting businesses that will help us out as a whole. You can look around your house or, just look around everything in daily life and see that there are a lot of things that we use on a daily basis that are not made by black people, for black people, that we could, take upon ourselves to, manufacture or produce ourselves. And literally down to like our spoons and forks, you know what I'm saying? Just, little things. A lot of people, go over their head and, they want to start these businesses, but I'm not really sure, where to start. I just want to say, you can literally start anywhere. Like I can't even name a cup manufacturer, spoons, bowl, plate, and these are things that we can make ourselves, but we, choose to just buy it because it's convenient. But, once we start at that basic level of, building things for ourselves and, starting our own economy, we can, function, within the society that is, perpetuating against us. And, we can, start to, I don't want to say separate ourselves, but, do things for ourselves within the society so that we don't feel so excluded. Because, if you look at America, they're supposed to be about, freedom and all this other stuff. So we do have the freedom to build things on our own. And then, throughout history, it has been shown that, when we do that, it can get taken from us, but we have to learn from those things and, just build better. That's all I wanted to say today. Like I said, thank you for your time, brother Salim. Thank you for everybody that's listening. Just go on style. I'm out.
All right. Yep. All right. So that was my good friend Kawan Scott. He wanted to call in and let us know how he was feeling on his open mic Thursday. And yeah, I appreciate you for letting me know how you felt about that. And the thing that he said that was the most powerful is like, you can start anywhere. You know what I'm saying? People think sometimes, maybe they think, oh, that's like too much to read, or they might get overwhelmed because they don't really know a lot, and then they getting boom abruptly hit with a lot of things. Just breathe, take a step back, breathe, and just go. You used to going on social media, just instead of looking at ratchet things on there, try to look up like some quotes or something. Just start with that. You know what I'm saying? Get with other people around you that want to do the same thing, that want to learn, that want to read, and use them to inspire you. You know what I'm saying? And have conversations with them that just will inspire you to do research later or anything. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you just talk about it, then it shows you in your mind that it's not very difficult to understand. Your mind is really kind of understanding of everything. Once you experience it, or once you actually like actualize it, because actualization is when you know about a situation, but then it happens to you, so then you feel it and you know what it really is. So yeah, we at a point of actualization for a lot of people, and it can be overwhelming. So just start anywhere. Just take small steps. You know what I'm saying? And if all of us take small steps, it's going to equal big steps for all of us. It's the Heights Radio Show with your guest host, Salim Williams. Do we have another caller?
Yeah, one more. Here's the last one.
All right. Hey, man. How you doing? Love you, man.
All right, man. I love you too today, man. Where George at?
George, he is not here right now.
Okay. Well, anyway, look, man, that's what I called to say. Listen, I've been on the radio early this morning. I talked, and I usually was on the radio all through the week, but I hadn't been. I got off for a while. But since all of this stuff started, man, listen, I hear my people on there protesting about the crab place.
Right.
If they want to shut it down and everything. I don't knock that. It's okay. But, I mean, listen, man, we got a much more serious problem. And that's called the kids of Baltimore City dying in a rapid pace. They're dying very seriously. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, what's wrong with my people, man? Why they don't understand that these kids are dying, and we, as people, as black people in Baltimore City, need to do something about this.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They forming rallies out in Essex about some crabs.
Right.
They want to shut it down. Can we please shut this crime problem down in Baltimore City? I want it done bad. I want to save these youth, man, because we don't have another generation. What is it? The black people just don't care about the kids?
Right.
Is that what it is? Their mouths come on this radio, they talk about everything else. What's your black kid down in the street? And you say Black Lives Matter. You ain't showing me the Black Lives Matter now. No, man, it's on everything else but a kid in Baltimore City. And I don't think it's right. And I'm going to tell everybody out there is black. You need to wake up. Your kids out here in the street is more important than anything. You know what I'm saying? This generation will not make it if we don't have them kids. So black people need to take this very serious. Protest. Take these streets back and get our kids in order. And let me tell you something else. I had a conversation about 2 months ago on the radio about the black people. I was saying such things about people in the community that we have, that we should build it up. One guy came on the radio and said, listen, I'm going to spend my money where I want to spend it. Now, he said he's going to spend his money where he want to spend it. I bet you 9 times out of 10, he experienced some prejudice right now when he took that $250,000 and built up the east side or the west side. Took his choice of which one he would spend his money in the black community and build it up. Right. But they didn't think like that. All of them would take their money to the county. Leave the badness behind you, and the badness stay there. Well, guess what? That $250,000 is going to spend on Biddle Street. That's one more person that can build up an area in Biddle Street and make their own rules. Right. See what I'm saying? Black people understand they got to stay where they want it. They got a community of their own. Why they messed it up and try to run somewhere else? Why don't we just stay there and build it up? We can have nice stores. We can have swimming pools, bars. We can have everything in that community that we spent our money in. See what I'm saying? But they're going to take their money somewhere else, spend it there, and get abused. See what I'm saying? We had a community.
Right.
We still got it. It's waiting for us. It's waving us every time we go by. Let us take that community back, man. It's about time we stand somewhere as a place and say, this is home. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
This is home. You can make all your rules right there. Get away from the people that don't want you to inspect. All that $250 now, $350 now, $500, and the people hate the mess out of them. Want them out there. They want to get out. They ain't running from them. So why black people don't understand? Take your money and come back to these communities that you call the ghetto and build it up. Make that thing out of a palace. And let me tell you something else. I'm going to say this again. Black lives matter, man. If Black Lives Matter, prove it to me, people, please, in Baltimore City, and let's save these young kids.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? It's an urgent matter that these kids get saved. I'm going to keep on saying it and saying it.
We gotta go, yo. We gotta go.
I want these kids saved in Baltimore.
All right, man. Yeah, I appreciate you for sharing that, bro. That's a real powerful message. We are all aware of the situations that's going on right now, and we have to take into account what is more valuable to us. What do we value? Today was Open Mic Thursday, and I'm your guest host, Salim Williams, and this is the Heights Radio Show with George Mitchell. And I thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate everybody that called in, and I love y'all, and y'all have a good day, and see y'all tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the Heights Radio Show with your host, George E. Mitchell. Now on 5 days a week from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. You heard right. Now on Monday through Friday at the same time from 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. on WOLB 1010 a.m. You can contact Mitchell at GEM14 or call down to the Langston Hughes Community Business and Resource Center at 443-759-8921. As we Thank you.